Welcome to World Top Secret and a new episode of Infamous Criminals. Today, we will delve into the disturbed mind of Richard Kasso, a man whose story is marked by violence and dark satanic rituals. Are you ready to discover the chilling tale behind the ritualistic murder of Gary Lauwers in 1984? But, before all that, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. That being said, let's begin. Richard Kasso's life is shrouded in mystery and darkness that seem to emerge from his early years. Born in 1967 in Northport, New York, his childhood was plagued by family conflicts and turbulence that left deep emotional scars. His parents, trapped in a tumultuous relationship, engaged in constant confrontations, creating a chaotic environment in Kasso's home that could only influence his psychological development. This tumultuous situation at home was not the sole factor contributing to the complexity of Kasso's life. As he grew up, he encountered even greater challenges that would lead him down a dark and sinister path that few could have predicted. The friendships he cultivated in his adolescence took him down an even darker path, and his subsequent actions shed light on a tormented and disturbed mind. As we continue to explore his life, we will uncover the events that led Richard Kasso to become an enigmatic figure in New York's history. From a young age, Kasso displayed signs of antisocial behavior. His mischief began with petty thefts and acts of vandalism, but as he grew, his crimes became more serious and dangerous. The lack of proper guidance and supervision from his parents, who were engulfed in their own struggles, allowed his path into juvenile delinquency to lengthen and deepen. But what led Kasso into an even deeper abyss was his growing fascination with Satanism. From a young age, he was drawn to satanic iconography, dark rituals, and the promise of power that satanic culture seemed to offer. His friends shared his interest in this shadowy world, and together, they ventured further into it. This connection with Satanism not only marked a dark turn in Kasso's life but also dragged him into even more sinister territory. His satanic beliefs and practices soon became intertwined with his criminal activities, creating an explosive mix of criminality and mysticism. As we continue to explore his life, we will unravel how this fusion of sinister influences led him down a path of violence and horror that left a profound mark on New York's criminal history. The point of no return came in 1984 when Kasso and his friends carried out a horrific act of violence that enveloped the community in an aura of mystery. Following a satanic ritual, they kidnapped and murdered Gary Lauwers in a dense nearby forest. The murder was extremely violent and bloody, and Kasso took pride in his involvement, adding a terrifying element to the mystery surrounding his personality. This heinous crime left an indelible scar on the quiet community of Northport and left everyone wondering how someone could descend so deeply into darkness. News of Lauwers' murder spread like wildfire, triggering a national media frenzy. The gruesome details of the murder and the apparent link to Satanism generated a sense of panic and shock across the country. As authorities investigated the case, the shadows surrounding Richard Kasso grew darker. His friends, who had shared his obsession with Satanism, began revealing chilling details about their joint activities, leading to an even more disturbing understanding of Kasso's mind. The community, still traumatized by the impact of the murder, sought answers about what had driven these young people to commit such an act of brutality. The police investigation was intense and eventually led to Kasso and his accomplices' arrest. During the trial, disturbing details of his involvement in satanic practices and his obsession with satanic culture were revealed. Kasso was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to prison, but the shadow of mystery and horror surrounding his life never fully dissipated. Richard Kasso's story is a chilling example of how a combination of factors, such as a troubled childhood, juvenile delinquency, and an obsession with Satanism, can lead to tragic and terrible consequences. His life continues to be an enigma, a window into a dark side of human psychology that reminds us of the importance of paying attention to signs of disturbance in young people's behavior before they reach such mysterious and dark extremes. This tragic episode in New York's history also sheds light on the influence that friends and connections can have in our lives. Kasso's company and his friends, all drawn into the dark world of Satanism, led them to commit terrible acts that left indelible scars on the community. As we reflect on Richard Kasso's life, we are confronted with a disturbing question. How could a once promising young man succumb so deeply to darkness? And that's it for our video about Richard Kasso. Thanks for joining us. Remember to like, share your comments and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories. See you, goodbye.